Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to share with you more about my bronze level rank grind and how I'm using a brand new account with very little investment. How you could too to really extract a lot of rewards from this game. I really believe for $10 startup cost to get that new account, and they're going to give you 3,000 credits with that purchase for free, like on top just as a bonus when you sign up. That 3,000 credits is going to go a long way to equipping that deck so that you can then earn significant rewards very easily. And I'm just going to continue this series where I'm just showing how I'm doing it, because frankly, I know it's replicable and I know it's going to be profitable. And so if you're paying attention, I think this is going to be a unique opportunity for you and me to get a massive amount of rewards from this amazing game that are going to one day be worth a lot of money. But right now, of course, their prices are quite low. These reward cards are practically free. That doesn't mean their value is nothing. The price is different than the value. Let's just see how we can extract maximum rewards and just trust that in a long enough time horizon, these rewards are going to be meaningful due to their deflationary nature. Okay, so I've got 1258.6 and I've got 1258.7. These are my two new my two new alt accounts. And the first that I ran, I created them both at the same time, but it's too time consuming for me to be able to play both of them in a given day. So I played 1258.6 actively and significantly, and as you can see, I got up to 52 loot chests for my season. That was within one daily grind. That was climbing from novice into high silver using primarily Jotun, which is a fire monster. If you're brand new to the game, you don't know that, look up Jotun, play the fire team. But really, it starts by looking at what your daily focus is. You create the account for $10, you get 3,000 credits. You're going to buy a few cards that fit within the focus that you're allotted for that day. That's going to allow you to then play and win within your season chests and your daily chests. And so what I was able to do was I got 20 daily chests, and I got 52 season chests, 72 chests in one day. It was probably 3 hours worth of play. And then I'm repeating it with my 1258.7, and I'm up to 42 chests on this one for my season. I got 16 on the daily. I've been playing really quickly, and this time around though I'm not on fire. See how this is focus water. With my other account I was focused fire, and so I selected certain legendary monsters and certain legendary summoners and complementary monsters, and in this context I'm doing the same thing again, really minimizing the payouts, but just selectively finding key cards. You're looking for water, start by coming in, you click on the water filter, click on regular, you click on legendary first and foremost. You're going to want to get yourself a summoner. Before you choose what summoner, I recommend you come over to Summoner Lab, and you can actually, if you're fighting in bronze, or if you're starting a brand new account, you're going to want to imagine climbing into silver, because that's where the real significant earning is going to begin. And so you want to come into summonerlab.com, and you want to go into the cards window, and you're going to click on Silver League, and it's going to give you data for win rates on the summoners. And you can decide using this data which summoner you want to invest in for a one-day rental, just a one-day rental, because in that one day you're going to climb significantly and you're going to earn massive rewards. And it'll be really inexpensive to rent even the best summoner for one day. So that's what I did today using Summoner Lab. I came in here, I found the data to see which summoner would have the highest win rate for my focus that I was allotted. Again, that was water. For the water team, which summoner is the best? Valdemar is significantly better than Alrek, but if I could get a good deal on Alrek, then it would be worth considering. And if you could get if these two were extremely expensive, I would look at Lyre Deep Swimmer and so on. But it's really important that I maximize my win streaks and minimize my time commitment. And so I'm willing to spend a little bit extra on the best, even because that 10%, 11% differential between this card and this card is substantive enough that it's gonna give me more wins per minute. And that's really important, because how the rank battle rewards work is that you only have a certain amount of energy capture rate. This is really the gas in the tank, and when this goes below 25%, you're not going to be able to replenish it within a 24-hour period. So every 24-hour period, you're going to replace 25%, which is to say that you need to be attentive to how many wins you can get out of each moment that you're playing this game. If you 30 games is going to take you down 25%. So if you're going to burn 60 games, that's going to be roughly half of your ECR. And then that should be all you're going to need, I think, to really get a massive return. I think probably if you did this right at the beginning of the day, and you understood you've got like several hours to play, and you understood the strategy required for the focus that you were allotted, and you're starting a brand new account in novice, climbing up to silver, and you understand the basics of how this game works. So that's going to require like summoners, which summoners synergize with which monsters. If that's your level of understanding, I'm pretty confident you can come out of the gate on day one with probably 30 daily loot chests and probably 60, maybe even 70 end of season rewards from one day of grinding. And that would be burning your ECR down from 100 perfectly full to halfway or even lower. But really at that point, you're just saying you're just going all in. You could burn it right down to 0 at that point, because it's like for one day you're just going to play, and then you're going to forget about the account for 2 or 3 days, however long it takes to get you back your ECR back up. And the reason you might do that, I actually think it would be probably preferable to stop at 50%, but I'm saying the reason you might do that is to really isolate and extract the maximum reward for the investment of the cards you're picking, because you can't rent cards for a few hours. And the way that in order to burn your ECR down to halfway, you're going to probably play 2 to 3 hours, depending on how long it takes you to choose your battles. So you can't come in here and rent these cards for 30 minutes or an hour or two, half a day. You have to rent them for a day at a time. So knowing that, maybe it makes sense to rent the card and then come in here and just burn it to the ground. Like just play and play and play. And that's, my ECR this morning started at 99% and it's at 75. So that means I've played about 30 matches so far. My win streak is pretty amazing. Like there's a loss. So I've gone 17 for 20 in the last 20 games. And that's because I'm doing Valnamore, and I have a few key magic monsters that work well with that. Now, some of these cards I gave myself, so it's important to understand that like I own a lot of assets that you aren't, and therefore all of these cards I just gave to this account, and you can't do that. But it's really inexpensive to rent level 1 of some of these monsters. Like if your play is a Valnamore, then just rent. You come into the marketplace of peak monsters and you rent Valnamore first of all. Go over to rent first. Go water. And then you can restrict it by level. I don't recommend you do that. I say you come in here, you look at summoners and you're like, okay, look, Alric would be good. Alric for level 1 is going to charge me 9 DEC a day. That's really, really cheap. It's like 1,000 DEC is $1. So 100 would be 10 cents. This is like a penny or something, isn't it? Yeah, it's something like a penny. And then Valnamore is going to be 85 DEC per day for level 1. But probably worth it. That extra 10%, it's probably worth it. You'd have to decide for your own monetary, and the prices will change when you come back and look later. So I rented it, and it comes out of the credits or the DEC that I'm just sitting on. This is a different account, but they give you 3,000 credits, so that's going to bankroll you to get you going. Come in, you rent Valnamore or Alric. I would say those are really the 2 best choices. And then you're going to come and look at monsters, and you're going to specifically isolate magic monsters. This is a really great one. She's kind of almost a tank with the high hit points and a good amount of magic damage. Quite expensive mana cost, but definitely something that would in 30 or 40 mana matches really turn the tides for you. Kelpinicia could be interesting because it's like a 2-cost mana tank. Oceanus is an amazing choice because of that void, the high armor, and the speed. Denari Wavesmith is a great one because of that protect and how that'll work with the rest of your team. Demon Shark is a great choice, but that's not magic. Axemaster is amazing. Sea Genie, there's so many good, but focus on magic monsters because you've picked Valimor. You're focusing on you're trying to create them essentially 1 or 2 battle tested, high probability teams. And I got 48. Look, I got Sneak Attack, And so you might say, oh, maybe I should try something else. Maybe I should try melee, or maybe I should try archery, like sneak attack. That why don't I just focus on melee? Nope. Valdemar, magic, magic, magic. Because you don't, at this level, you do not need a ton of creativity, innovativeness. Like, it's not like you need to reinvent the wheel with these battles. That's the thing about this. That's why this works. That's why this is interesting, because at the lowest levels of this game, at bronze and silver, you do not need to be deeply strategic. You can just keep using that same toolkit just over and over and over and win 17 out of 20 matches. Yeah, you're gonna lose 3 out of 20. That's not a big deal. The win streak that you're gonna put together just using the brute force of one legendary summoner with a couple specially selected inexpensive magic monster cards is going to be so effective. Or this is all focusing on if you're this is assuming you were going to be the blue team, but if fire came up, then the same is true, but you would just go over here and look for fire, and you'd start with your summoners. Then you'd focus on, again, using Summoner Lab. You can come over here and you can say, which are the fire summoners? Jotun's got a 60%. Surprisingly, Talia's got a 62%. I would argue that's just because it's got a very low 70 battles. That's really interesting to me. I wouldn't rent Talia. This is what I did the other day, and I won almost all my games, like 17 out of 20 at silver. And, you know, but again, you want to weigh the cost. What is Yoda going to cost you? Yoda's going to be 95 DEC per day, which is like 9 cents or something like that. Guys, this is crazy. And you're going to get now, so you're going to spend pennies. You're going to spend $10 to get an account, and you're going to spend pennies out of the free credits they've given you to rent certain key cards, and then you're going to just win. You're just going to win. Like, look, he's got Void. It's not going to stop me. He's got a bunch of melee. I still think I'm going to win. Watch this. I put zero thought into this. And not only did I put zero thought, I actually intentionally played what probably wasn't an ideal attack, because I just felt so confident I could just keep approaching the exact same thing. And it's going to work. I can tell already. That was his last chance. That Void monster in the front and staying alive was his only hope. And I just melt. And so it's so easy to win at bronze and at silver with just repeating one key team, that you can absolutely repeat what I'm doing with that $10 cost and the 3,000 credits they're going to give. And when you do, you just play as much as you can on one given day, and then wait 2 or 3 days for that ECR to come back, and you can repeat this process. And I'm confident that you're going to be able to get 200 to 400 loot chests every season until they change this rank reward system. And they may, and they probably will, and I think they definitely should change what I'm describing to you, because it seems like an exploit. It seems like it's not a good rank reward system. I think this was an error. But while it's here, come enjoy the game for $10, experience it, and earn a ton of NFTs, because this is 43 loot chests. 33% of those is going to give me a card. 17 daily loot chests. 33% of those is going to give me a card. And you can, like I say, I think 70 every 2 or 3 days is possible. There's 15 days in the league. You're talking 5 times 70. That's 350 chests, I think. I really think 200 to 400 chests is possible. And it depends on your knowledge of renting. It depends on your confidence in choosing winning teams. And then being able to adapt. Like, look at this. I've only got 12 mana in this match. I can't pick Valdemar. Well, I can, but I mean, it's probably not going to work for me all that well. So you have to be able to, in these moments, kind of think through, well, is that what I want to try? I think it is. Let's give it a shot. I mean, 12 mana, it's not going to take much. And the thing about Valdemar at 5 mana cost, look at this, 1 magic damage, 1 speed, 1 heart, and he's only 1 mana more than Obsidian. I think we might win, actually. Nah, he's got too much. The Perryton has too many hit points. I landed the spot. bad. You can't win them all. That's okay. You just need to win most of them, and you need to move quickly. You want to get as many possible wins in as short a period of time, and thereby maximize your rewards for your time and attention. And it's so possible, and it's so easy. Guys, pay attention, get involved. These rewards that I'm going to get paid out of this thing are going to seem trivial because they're going to be like common reward cards. They're going to be worth 1 or 2 pennies right now. But in 4 years, when I'm still playing this game, and because of the deflationary nature, those cards are going to be worth 50 cents, $1 each. And it's like you're getting 100, 200 of those every season for free, by the way, because I didn't mention this yet. But when you're playing this and earning, you're also going to be earning DEC, and that DEC will replenish your ability to continue renting cards. This is definitely replicable. It's a lot of fun, and the rewards are very satisfying. Guys, get involved. Stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe. Have an amazing day. God bless.